Moving on, Israel is still struggling with the pandemic. Record unemployment and financial distress being reported from nearly every corner. But the economy is showing some interesting activity and even growth in certain areas. Joining me with the details is ILTV consumer behavior expert, Dr. Vili Abraham. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Q3, we're reporting a 38% rebound. What does that mean?
Well, it means that the overall value of products and services produced in the third quarter has increased by 38%, which is great. And this is in the backdrop of a shrinkage in the second quarter of 29.8% in annual terms. So that's pretty good.
All right, so is this a growth across all sectors, though, or is there maybe more than meets the eye to these figures?
In most sectors, investment has been down in plants and machinery, but most sectors have seen an increase in activity.
Really? All right. So, Israel recently unveiled several new stimulus plans. Might they solve anything, or might they have anything to do with the reported gains in the third quarter?
Well, there is an emergency stimulus plan in order to bring 3,000 employees back to work in the high-tech industry and related industries. However, that's just a drop in the bucket because we have a 23% unemployment rate and about 1 million people out of work. So it's not really going to do much. We need to do more in order to bring people into high-tech because there's a tremendous shortage in the high-tech industry.
See. All right. So might any of these issues be related to the budget crisis?
Yes, a very severe budget deficit. We're talking about 110 billion shekels, which is about 8.9 out of the GDP. The expenditure of the government in the last few months was 3 times as much as last year. So very huge spending. But there are other indicators which are not very optimistic. For example, if you look at the deflation rate, prices are decreasing, and that's not a very good sign because it means that although people have come back to work, demand is still low. So that's why prices are coming down. But once more people go back to work and demand increases and there's less supply, then prices increase.
So what kind of consequences are we looking for in the short and the long term really right now?
Well, in the short term, it looks like the government will have to cope with a very serious budget deficit. And regarding unemployment, according to the most optimistic scenarios and projections, we'll be at around 10% unemployment by the end of the year.
All right, well, it's not the 4% we had before the pandemic, but it is a step in the right direction.
Certainly less than 22%.
Absolutely. Yeah. Vili, thank you so much for being with us.
It was a pleasure.